I just returned from the most awesome trip to New England with my husband. We've been wanting to go for years and go around this time of year so that we could see the fall leaves. I live in California. We don't get much of that. Not a lot of foliage changing colors around here. So we have been wanting to do this New England trip for years. And I think we had it planned in the summer or in the fall of 2020. And then, of course, we know that a lot of plans changed in 2020. So finally got our act together and we went out there to celebrate a milestone birthday for my husband, got a car in Montreal, rented a car, and then drove down to Boston, stopping in Kennebunkport. Felt very much like a Kennedy. And actually, the Bush family has a compound there. It was really cool to see. We stopped in Bar Harbor and went to Acadia National Park. We're in a national park kick, but this was like a very, very special, beautiful national park. Lots of gorgeous leaves, incredidible hikes, covered by trees all around you, just felt kind of like mystical almost. And I joked that I envisioned seeing a unicorn kind of galloping in this forest where we were hiking because it was so beautiful and special. And then we ended up in a night in New Hampshire, and then, met some friends there, and then saw some other friends in Boston. And it was so awesome, just super beautiful. The cool thing was that it was kind of the end of the season. And in fact, all the places where we stayed were kind of gearing up for the winter. They close for the winter. If it's not a ski town, they close because it's literally so cold, nobody comes out there. So we got there at the very end of the season and it was perfect weather, like super, super lucky. Every single day, beautiful clear skies, not chilly, just beautiful, gorgeous, crisp fall weather. Still had peak foliage starting to, trickle down. Is that a word? Yeah, trickle down, falling from the trees as we hiked through. And it kind of felt very, almost like confetti or something flying all around us. It was just really beautiful and not crowded, which is so cool. And it was really interesting to see how the seasonality of the location really has such an impact on their tourist season. And it's literally, they don't wait to see, is the weather going to be good? It's like, this is the date, no more reservations. We're shutting down for the winter and we'll see you at the end of the spring. It's just kind of interesting. So it was like this, for me, this marked indication that the seasons are changing. Whereas here in LA, I think it's like when you start to see Halloween decorations pop up in stores, although that's getting earlier and earlier. Same with Thanksgiving decorations, or more so Christmas and the holidays. So to have an actual season and be there right at the end of it, swoop in for just a beautiful trip was so awesome and so special. And I just appreciate you letting me share that with you, because it just really was one of those most memorable experiences where everything just lined up and it felt really like we were meant to be there. And, like I said, you've got the changing leaves. That indicates end of the season. We're gearing up for holiday season. So I thought it would be kind of timely to talk about industry trends and how this time of year, this end, right now I'm recording in October, very end of October. I'm sure this is going live early November, but we are going to kind of bridge this gap between the end of the summer, back to school, and the festive holiday season ahead. And that's kind of what that trip signified for us, was just a shift into the last quarter of the year, close up strong. So we're going to talk today about PR strategies that center around seasonality. You're going to learn how to leverage key holidays and observances in November and December so that you can create timely and effective PR campaigns that will really resonate with your target audiences. And we're also going to talk about trend awareness, which is where you are going to hear about some valuable resources and tools that will help you stay updated on industry trends, which will help you pitch your clients more effectively and jump early on those emerging opportunities, hopefully ahead of the curve. So you're on top of it and you're able to leverage some of these, topics that are topical right now and things that the media is starting to pay attention to, and you can pounce on it early and get your clients in on that conversation. And then also engagement tips. So we're going to explore some practical tips for crafting engaging pitches for holiday events and different themes around Thanksgiving gatherings, New Year's resolutions or New Year's parties, budget-friendly celebrations. There's just so much happening this time of year, all of these observances, and it's just a very visual time of year also between Halloween and all of the decorations. They're super cool in my neighborhood this year. It was kind of fun to leave on that trip and come back, and it's like Halloween land, basically where I live. The street right down the street, they shut down with barricades so that people can walk and not have any cars drive through. And so that street goes off, like it goes all out. The houses are so cool and well decorated. They give out real candy, like the big candy bars. It's that kind of street. People take buses to come and go to that street. So it's fun to come back and see all of that. And that's what this time of year is. It's just fast moving, visual. So to capitalize on that as a PR pro, there's a lot of opportunity for creating engaging content and pitches that will really resonate with your audience. So we're going to explore how you can leverage the upcoming trends for November and December. So I'm going to walk you through what's coming up in November. And I know that for pitching long lead and all of that, we are behind on if you're looking to this podcast to say, oh, okay, it's time to start pitching for November, December. It's a little bit on the late side, especially long leads. Short leads, if you have a good relationship with a journalist, you could be like, can you squeeze me in? And for sure, our contacts are still working on holiday gift guides and things like that. But in our program, the Pitch Lab, we do all of this research for you. It is like done for you research. We give every month sometimes it's 50 pages, sometimes it's 70, 80, 90 pages. Sometimes it's shorter, depending on what's happening that month. But we'll give you a full execution plan with all of the pitching research, the topics, the timeliness done for you and provided to you when it is time for you to be pitching these ideas for the long and short lead timelines that editors are working off of. So people in the Pitch Lab have already been working on this, but we thought that it would be relevant to cover it for like social media content, your own content on social or short lead pitching, really pushing forward any kind of, maybe your clients have marketing initiatives, you can pounce on some of these for that. So November, let's talk about November. A ton of stuff going on. First, it's National Adoption Month. So beautiful, reflection, beautiful opportunity to reflect on any heartwarming stories of adoption. Maybe your founders of your client's company have a personal story to share, or they know somebody who does, or you have somebody that can weigh in on that topic. And it's just a good opportunity to kind of reflect and share those personal stories, which always have a bigger impact and always resonate. Anytime you can infuse a personal story, it resonates, people remember it, and they're more inclined to share because there is that emotional component that resonates. Another observance is Movember, M-O, right? Movember. So if you have a partner, male partner, who dons a pretty sparse mustache during, it's kind of hard, I guess, to grow a full mustache in a month, but this is where men are growing out mustaches. It's all month. It's a global campaign, and it encourages men to grow a mustache that will help raise awareness about men's health issues. challenge the stigma around men's health issues and promote early detection and intervention. So if you have anything that could tie into that, just anything tied into the awareness of men's health and what the Movember mustache effort is going to bring to the table. So this is what we love about sharing these types of themes that are so diverse. They're so impactful. These are two positive things. And I think that obviously the big elephant in the room is the 2024 presidential election, which is on November 5th. That really could open the door for commentary and insights, anything related to kind of political discourse, which who doesn't have an opinion on that these days? But that's going to be heavy news. There's going to be a lot coming at us around that. And people are speculating that the election won't end after November 5th, that it's going to be some counting and other, recounting, counting, all of the things. So we might not have like a resolution right away. So it's nice to focus on things that are maybe a little bit positive as well. And then consider the significance of Thanksgiving, which falls on November 28th this year, kind of on the late side. If your clients offer products or services that align with holiday hosting, anything around entertaining, cooking, baking, maybe healthy swaps for comfort foods, things like that, now is the time to prepare pitches that highlight these offerings. So for instance, if you represent a home goods brand, you can emphasize how their items will help elevate Thanksgiving gatherings. They'll make your Thanksgiving table beautiful and it's still reasonably priced, something along those lines that will help take advantage of elevating these celebrations that everybody is having at the same time. And then, of course, it is all about shopping, right? Getting ready for holiday shopping. So Black Friday, right after Thanksgiving, is November 29th. Obviously, it's a Friday. I think you probably know that Black Friday means that retailers will be in the black versus in the red, because that is the biggest shopping day of the year. It used to just be in person. People would line up after having Thanksgiving turkey and go to the mall and try to get in after midnight on Black Friday. My friends used to do it. And I was like, I will be sleeping off with the tryptophan and the turkey. I don't need to be shopping. But now that everything's online, you've seen that it's gone from Black Friday to Cyber Monday, right? Because it used to just be Black Friday was in the stores and then Cyber Monday was what happened online. Now we're seeing our clients do promotions that run the entire length between Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and then also consider in there a Small Business Saturday, and that's November 30th. That's a crucial shopping event. If your client is a small business, then it's important to position them as being relevant during Small Business Saturday. You want to ensure that they're included in gift guides, and we've talked about this in the Pitch Lab at length about how your clients have to have an affiliate program tied in to their products somewhere, whether that's their own website with Share a Sale or, Rakuten, Commission Junction, or through Amazon. Amazon's the preferred place now because they do elevate commissions around Black Friday and Cyber Monday for affiliates. And our editorial partners are always looking to generate revenue around product recommendations. So why not? If they're going to put together a gift guide, they're going to look to make revenue, and your client's product that has really good reviews on Amazon, reasonably priced, product performs well, it's kind of a no-brainer for them to include it in a gift guide so that their readers will just put it in their cart and buy it, and the magazine or publication will earn a commission. So lots and lots of gift guide opportunities and media roundups this year, knowing that there is a focus on the earning potential through affiliate revenue, and definitely include something around Small Business Saturday. If there's a really interesting founder story really highlighting how it's an up and coming small business. That's a great angle for that as well. And then we're going to move on to December. So as we gear up for December, the focus shifts to holiday festivities and those kind of year-end reflections. So there's observances such as Advent, Universal Human Rights Month. We as PR pros can craft messages that will align with these themes, and that will help foster engagement and awareness. It's that peak time for holiday parties, with companies kind of reevaluating their party options with budget constraints. This could present an opportunity for creative pitches that'll provide budget-friendly party ideas or creative activities, doing something that's more like an experience versus company spending on gifts or things that are, items versus an experience. So anything that could come around holiday entertaining on a budget, things that you can make easy swaps, where to spend and where to save. If your client specializes in catering or event planning, consider offering them up to share their expertise with tips on hosting memorable gatherings that will be beautiful and special without breaking the bank. I think that is going to be a big topic this year, is people want to get together. But I think especially with the election, by then it will be more certain, but there's been a lot of uncertainty and around the economy. And I think that people are kind of pulling back just a little bit. And it's going to be less about the big gifts, the big grand presents, and more about presence, being where you are with your people that matter, and celebrating and having just more connection. And then, of course, what I really love the kind of New Year's resolutions, new year, new you. I'm always like, January 1st, I'm going to completely reinvent myself. And then January 4th, 5th rolls around and I'm like, I kind of fell off the wagon on that one. And maybe I'll try again next year. It's like so stupid, but please tell me I'm not alone in that. I always have something. I'm like, I'm going to do this big thing this year. And then I'm like, well, I've done it a few times. It's hard for me to adopt a habit, I suppose, but the approach should be around these themes, and pitch ideas could focus on resolutions, whether they're about fitness, personal finance, self-improvement. We've seen a lot of stories around simplifying, downsizing, eliminating things in your, decluttering, really eliminating things in your home, which is a really good topic after the holidays, because presumably there's a lot more stuff coming into the house, or maybe you've gone through your holiday decorations and you notice that there's some at the bottom that season after season, year after year, you are just never reaching for them. That is tying into the decluttering trend. I mean, that's not a trend. It's kind of a way of life that I think is more prominent these days, because people are favoring experiences and connection over stuff. And your stuff tends to draw your attention. You're always moving it, organizing it, shuffling it, taking it out, putting it back, managing it. So we've seen a lot of gurus or whatever, they probably don't like to be called that, but a lot of these experts around simplifying, organizing, downsizing, they really focus on the very first step being decluttering. And I think that is a very timely topic as we look at this kind of new year, new you, New Year's resolutions, self-improvement. All of those topics tie in. Highlight how your clients' products or services can really support these goals, and position them as a valuable resource for any publications or stories that your contacts are writing that are wanting to include content around making positive changes in the coming year. Really sharing how to make these changes stick, so that you're not on just like a hamster wheel like me every year saying, this year is going to be different, and then not actually following through on everything. Maybe I'm wanting to do too much, and it's like, just pick one thing, drink more water. Sure. Okay. Here I am taking a sip of my water. But those topics really resonate, and perfect time of year, especially if you represent somebody who is an expert and you want to highlight their unique process or their unique approach. What do they do? What is their way of providing that service or offering that advice that people can't get everywhere else? It's not the same thing that everybody else is saying. They have a unique method, a process, a framework. When you have a client that has some kind of service that they offer or coaching they provide or advice, or they are sharing how they get results for their clients or how they've gotten results for themselves, it really helps. It helps them to be known for something as an expert, and it helps you to pitch it when there's a framework. Like first is A, then is B, then is C, or, it's that sort of 1, 2, 3 approach. That's like in my agency accelerator, my framework is 4 pillars. It's strategy, sales, service, and scale. And all of those areas have different categories of knowledge and resources and training and contracts and templates and tip sheets and all the things you'd need to really nail your strategy, how you're building your business, conquering your mindset, or sales, building a client pipeline, having a successful discovery call with a client, noticing red flags and being able to recognize them and not talk yourself out of your instinct that this could probably be a problematic client. So that framework that I created allows me so easily to talk about how to build a successful online agency because I have a proven framework, and it's very easy and it's very visual. So if you can get your clients to kind of distill their information, their process, their unique method into a framework, that works really well with the media. They love it. And this is a really good time of year to talk about the proven framework that your client has that will get you changes that last, right? See what I'm saying? You're picking up what I'm putting down. Okay. And then when, we're coming up on the end of the year, we want to stay ahead of the curve. So this is, everybody's always talking about how the industry is changing. It's changing so much. It's changing so fast. It is a fast-paced world. Clearly, if you're listening, you are open to, you're on this, you're listening to this podcast, you're open to staying on top of trends. You're open to learning more and absorbing everything that you can. And so congrats, you're here. I do tons of research so that we can provide the best content possible, but you have to really be dialed in. That's one of the reasons why the done for you research, it's hard for me to say, done for you research in the Pitch Lab is so incredibly valuable, because you're getting access to resources that maybe you wouldn't otherwise see. And it's all distilled down. Like, think about all of the editorial calendars that are out there for major publications and little tiny ones, right? We're calling all of that and distilling it down into timely, digestible content for you and your team. And it just saves you hours and hours and hours of time. So keeping up on trends is one of the things that we are offering in the Pitch Lab as part of your membership. It's just giving you timely, relevant access to what the media would want to know about short and long lead, right now, whatever that upcoming month is. So definitely check into the Pitch Lab if you are not already a member, because this done for you research is just a game changer. And then as you prepare for these months ahead, you can leverage resources like Prowly, Propel, and Muckrack so that you can keep a finger on the pulse of industry developments. They're going to send newsletters that are talking about changes. They send really good newsletters that talk about discussions people are having in different online communities that I think are really interesting. We have some of the best coaching calls ever in the Pitch Lab, and I learned so much. So that's one container of opportunity to connect with other PR pros. Prowly specifically, because you guys know I'm a Prowly ambassador. I just spoke at PRSA Icon. I gave a presentation. It was like an hour-long presentation on media relationships. They were so generous to have me attend as their kind of keynote. So they're a sponsor and they got to have a keynote presentation and they offered it to me, which was so awesome. It was really, really cool. And that's because I had to go to the Prowly conference and ended up pushing that New England trip back week. And it was so perfect because I don't think the weather would have been as perfect the week before. It was like unseasonably beautiful and amazing. And I also think it would have been a lot more crowded, especially in Acadia National Park. Anyway, it all happens for a reason. But checking into Prowly, even just getting on their newsletter for free, they're sending discussions that are happening in other communities. And I think it's so valuable to have access to that. And there's other, industry developments that are being shared by these resources that are designed for us to make our lives better and make things run more smoothly in our businesses. So you can also subscribe to PR News, PR Daily. Those will provide other insights into current events and talk about the evolving media landscape. PR News is a paid subscription. I believe PR Daily, you can still access content for free, but they're really good to stay up on our industry trends so that you know what everybody's talking about and you can kind of keep it on your radar. And then another platform that we love is called Exploding Topics, which will predict emerging trends over the next 12 months. And they're researching data. They're pulling data, search volume on all platforms, whether it's TikTok or Google or wherever. They're looking at the data and they're predicting curves of things that are about to explode. They're about to take off. So it can really guide your pitching strategy and will help you position your clients ahead of the curve. Like we noticed that they said rosemary in hair care was like a big trend. And so we have a hair care client and we went to them and said, which products have rosemary in them? And we crafted a pitch around that exploding topic of rosemary in hair care. And that's all generated by data. They're pulling all the data together and saying, okay, these topics are really hot right now. And, just kind of staying on top of things so that you're thinking about it. Like you are always thinking about how your client's unique position in the marketplace or certain things that you want to leverage will work with the seasonality, the things that people are thinking about, the observances and trends happening. You are tapping into that seasonality. And, you can create these compelling narratives and pitches that'll resonate with your audience, with the journalist, and they're going to know that it's relevant for their audience. So, you've got to kind of stay on top of this, be proactive, monitor trends, embrace the seasonal opportunities that are out there and come your way. And of course, we love that it's literally every year seasonal. It's like a cycle, right? You can hit a 12-month cycle and you know what's coming. I mean, yeah, there are going to be things that come up that are new and different, but for the most part, you have back to school, you have summer, you have, summer entertaining and barbecues and New Year's resolutions around the first of the year. Like it's pretty cyclical on a 12-month cycle. So you can kind of predict it. And, if you aren't predicting it, you don't want to, or you're kind of like, I'm lazy and I want this done for me, that's where you should consider joining the Pitch Lab, because we are giving you these expert execution plans that will enhance your PR strategies and literally done for you research, timely, targeted, topical pitch ideas and angles that you can leverage for your clients. And our members love them. We hear time and time again that the execution plans are quote unquote worth the price of admission. And I agree, they're really, really informative. So I hope you can use some of these ideas and the seasonality of the pitch angles you can be using right now. But you can also just look at this as a whole and say, okay, I know that these things are coming. What do I need from my clients in order to be effective at this? Predicting what an editor, what a journalist is going to ask for, so you have it in advance. Yes, when we start working together, and we have all of this in my agency accelerator program, it's all about the onboarding process and being really smooth and getting what you need from your clients. Yes, you will be onboarded, you will have access to a lot of stuff. But if there are internal promotions or marketing initiatives, like we just got off a call with a client and we were talking about what their Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals are, because we're going to pitch for sale roundups. We were talking about what new designs they have coming out for holiday and what they're predicting is going to be their best sellers. And they, based on what has been really hot in the media, like it's a plush toy company and they make beautiful, super cool plush animals. And they even have like a croissant. His name is Monsieur Croissant. He has like a little beret and a mustache. It's super cute. They can predict what is going to be a hot seller for that upcoming season. And, we know that it's going to be at a certain store, Anthropologie. So that information arms us with the best chance of landing press for them that's really relevant, that's really leveraging the best of the best that they have to offer, promoting the right retailers. Like it's not cool when you start promoting a product at a retailer and they didn't even pick it up for that season. So getting all of that information ahead of time, clients will not think to offer it to you. You have to ask for it. So I hope this episode gets you in that headspace to start thinking about how you can fit your clients into these seasonal topics, these timely topics, so that you can get the resources you need from them to hit the ground running effectively. Don't assume just because you started with them and you got all of those assets at the beginning and it's up to you to think about how to use them. You need to go back and say, I'm thinking about a bestseller pitch, or, this is the hot holiday item at Anthropologie. What do you predict it's going to be from your collection? Or, like they told us that this little pink pumpkin jack-o'-lantern for trick-or-treating sold out immediately. And, we use that as a way to predict what is going to happen for the holidays so that we can pitch the likely bestsellers accordingly and also know which retailers had them. So think through it and then ask your clients for the resources and support that you need. And of course, if you are in the pitch lab, you have this whole community behind you and we can help you workshop your pitch. You could say it's not quite working. I don't really see the connection. And we can help you figure out through pitch review and a coaching process how to get that pitch to really resonate. So I hope that helps. Thank you for letting me share my New England adventure. I'm going to post this incredible sunrise video that I took. So in Acadia National Park, there is the highest, most easternmost peak called Cadillac Mountain. And if you apply to get a permit ahead of time, you can go to the top of the mountain, while it's still dark in the morning, and see the sunrise. And it is the very first sunrise visible in the United States. So because it's the easternmost and highest peak, that is the first visible sunrise in the US. So it's a very popular thing to do. You have to get the permit in advance. And we got it. My husband is so on the ball. And I went out there and we sat and waited for the sun to rise. And it was magical and incredible. Just go to my Instagram. I think I'm going to post it as a reel, but I recorded 23 minutes of the sun rising. It's not 23 minutes. And I did a time lapse. And so it's about 23 seconds. And what you're seeing are the clouds moving over the mountains. It almost looks like marshmallows, like it's thick. People said, that's not the ocean. And I'm like, no, those are clouds. And then you can see the sun come up and all of the clouds above it change color. And it's awesome. It was so special and magical. So if you're so inclined, go to my Instagram and check that out. And leave me a review. That would be great too. I'm just asking you for all the things today. Yeah, if you like the podcast, share it with somebody in the PR community and leave a review. This time of year, I'm reflecting on how grateful I am for this community and my business. And just thank you. Thank you for being here. I do this because people listen. It was really cool. PRSA Icon, I had several people come up to me and say, I love your podcast. And I was like, me? You're listening to my podcast? Like, seriously? And more people are saying that. So it's pretty awesome. People are finding me through the podcast. So thanks for being here. And I will see you guys next week. Ciao.